Okay. It said off air, now it went live.
Yeah. We're live, so welcome everyone. Last minute little webinar Q&A here. So when you're on and can see us, there's going to be some windows to your left that we've enabled. We've got a little chat box that should be highlighted on your left side of your screen. You can click on and that'll put you in the chat room, and you can chat with everybody that's on the webinar, and let us know, let us hear from you, let us know where you're watching from. And then also we've got a window on the left for Q&A. So if you have questions, which is what this is all about, I have some free time on my hands, and I got my friends in low places, high places, and flat places, like Mike's getting a sleep study done. So we're high-tech rednecks. When you can do a webinar and be getting a sleep study, the problem is his ambit business keeps him awake. That's what the problem is.
Yeah. You see I got my shirt on, right?
I see that. That makes it a write-off. Yeah.
That's right.
You're not sleeping on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see, instead of me having to ask them any questions, they're going to ask me, what is that?
It's what's keeping me awake. Tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Vance, I see Vance is on here, and shout out to Vance Worsham. And once again, I know there's a little delay, but most of you should be seeing it. If not, you just refresh your browser. But over to the left, you're going to have some boxes that are going to enable some different tools for you. We've got the chat box enabled. You can click on that, and you can see the chat box over on the right hand side of your screen. You can click on the Q&A box, and that'll open up the ability to ask us some questions. But the purpose of this webinar, we threw it together last minute just so that we could address any questions that you have and help you build your ambient energy business. And so we're just going to have fun. We're going to kick it back and forth here, and we've got several leaders on the webinar and several that are logged in that I'm going to bring over. So let me see who all we've got on here. Uh-oh, I see Captain C on here. Captain Claude is in the house. Dr. P is in the house. Dale Petter, I thought you were going to get on the moderator side. Let me bring you over. You should be getting a notice to accept and come on over. All right. Dale, did you get my invitation there? You should have seen it. James Stafford. Huh?
Everybody's being really shy.
I know. Merry Christmas to you, Michael Harris. Let's see here. Dale might have logged out now and is logging back in. Dr. P, type in the chat box and let me know. Do you have a camera? And if you're willing to be on video, raise your hand, and we'll check all of that. You should see a little hand on the left-hand side of your screen, and that should allow you to raise your hand and let us see you if you want to be on the webinar. Tom Curtis is on board here, I see. That's good. Y'all are a bashful bunch, though. I'll give you that. Let's see here. For those of you that didn't hear the story before we went live, Mike is getting a sleep study done, so he's on his iPhone. and we said it's basically ambit keeping him awake. And we've got all kinds of people texting and buzzing and letting me know that they're watching.
I think we have a question.
We do have a question, huh? All right, well, let's just see what that question is, because that is what we're here for. All right. Let's see here. It says, last week, Tuesday, there was a special conference call with top 5 earners plus co-founder Chris to tell attendees some key information prior to simulcast. The earners said they were told by Chris, so Chris was going to tell attendees. Well, due to technical problems, Chris never joined the call, and we never heard what he was going to tell us, that he had already told the top income earners. Can you tell us what that information is? Joanne, I would so love to be able to tell you that, but I don't know what it was either. Nothing was ever said. Mike, did you hear anything?
No, didn't. I wish I had.
and I've not heard anything from the top earners either. I don't know what the deal was, so we'll try to find out.
Hey, John, some people are asking how to let you know that they want to talk or be seen, so if you can go over that again.
Just raise your hand, and which it looks like we've got 3 people that have raised their hand, and let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to add y'all. You should get an invitation, and you'll have to accept that and just click OK and all of that good stuff. And that should bring you over into the moderator side. We'll see. All right. Here's another question. And as y'all have them, type them, and we will get on them as soon as humanly possible. Because, once again, bottom line is we're here on this webinar. Elizabeth's a Pure Energy Award winner, blowing it up, the customer gathering queen, and all of that good stuff. Mike Snow, blowing it up, has a huge organization all up the northeastern seaboard. Dr. P's hopefully going to get over here in just a second, and he's an executive consultant. Got his own, medicine practice. It's just incredible. And we now have Edward on here who wants to participate, so welcome aboard. And so anyway, we're here to answer your questions, okay? And if you have them, type them in, and we'll answer them as they come in. And we're going to do this for a little bit. We're just going to have fun and cuss and discuss, kick it back and forth, some ideas that will help you build your business. So here's the next question. Talk about how to talk and get people to respond to you while shopping. All right, that comes from Claude. And it basically, I say a great way to get people to talk to you is to say hi. Hello is a great way to start a conversation. And if they don't say hello back, they've flunked the first phase of your interview. So after that, there's all kinds of things that you can utilize to start the conversation. Form, family, occupation, recreation, motivation, money, There's several things M can stand for. If you don't know the person, ask them where they're from, and you know, what do you do for a living? You know, this shopping line is, is horrible. Or it's not as busy as I thought it would be. Just use what's happening around you to spark a conversation. And I guarantee you, especially, let me mute some folks here. Hang on just a second.
Conference call.
Do you need me to? I can come back.
No, we should stop it too. Hopefully it's stopped.
And we've got somebody, I don't know who it is, doesn't have their video on, but anyway, I hear some background voice. So if you're on the moderator side, hit mute on your screen, please. Anyway, you can just talk to them about everyday life. You don't have to sit there and show up and throw up ambit on them, okay? And but you can gather their information. So your only job in life in ambit energy is to get their information so that you can schedule an appointment to show them the business presentation. After that, everything else is okay. Let's see here. Somebody said they've sent 2 questions. So let me look here and see. All right, I've seen one. Claude, let me see here, and I'll keep on moving down. All right, but anyway, you're just going to carry on a conversation with people. And hang on just a second. I've got everybody texting and email. Vicky, there is a hand on your screen. If you logged in with the link, over to the left, you should see a hand over there that you can click on. And the reason I know that that's happening is because we've got 6 people that have raised their hand. Cool. So Tom's got his hand, raised his hand, and let me see if I can bring you over, Tom. And we've got Dr. P. I'll try to bring you over. And we've already got Edward on here. And so anyway, just follow the instructions when you get those notes, fellas and gals and chicks and chickadees and all that good stuff, and that will get you over into the moderator side. But you can raise your hand, and it's right there. I think it's on the bottom of all of the options there. You can click on the chat box. You can click on the Q&A box if you want to ask your questions. If you just want to chat with people, you can be over there chatting away to your little heart's content, okay? But if you want to ask a question, hit the Q&A box and with the question mark on it, and that will open up that box on the right-hand side of your screen, and raising your hand is right below that. You'll see a little paw, little handprint, okay? So let me get back over here to answering these questions. So you're going to be just talking to people. When you're out and about, we were at a restaurant a while ago talking to a gentleman, and we were eating at the bar there just so we didn't have to wait in line, and his name was AJ, and he was talking about how he was off on Christmas Day, but after he got through at that restaurant, then he had to go to another place where he was a bartender, and he's working tomorrow up until 8, but thank goodness he's off until off on Christmas Day. Well, that's when I would just ask great questions, okay? And it would be questions like this. What if I could show you how you could never have to work on Christmas Day? Would that be worth 20 minutes of your time? And they're going to say, yes, how can you do that? Well, now's not the time to get into this. I have to go, but. And that's when you're going to say, give me your information, your phone number, email address, and I'll get in touch with you here once we get through the Christmas, and we'll schedule a time where we can get together, and I'll show you what I've got. You're probably going to be interested, but if not, it's no big deal. I'm just telling you I can show you how to never have to work on a Christmas again, and just carry on the conversation just like that. But I have found that it's best to ask questions and ask good questions, because the person asking the questions is in charge of the conversation. Make sure that is always you. Okay? Liz, you have any examples of that?
I've got one from yesterday.
Well, rock it, so I'm not the only participant here.
Talking? Well, they've got extra help with UPS right now all over the place. All these seasonal workers, and I ran into one. He actually had a Santa hat on, and we started chatting, and he, I asked him some questions. How long have you been working with UPS? Oh, I just started. Really? What'd you do before? Well, I did this or that. And so, do you think you're going to stay here very long? He's like, well, I need this, I need that. I just asked him about himself. Where are you from? How long have you been working here? How is it working for UPS? Then I was looking for a need, and he basically laid it all out. And he said I think he said he had a landscaping business at one time, went through a divorce or something. She got all I don't know, something about the equipment, and he didn't have that. I said, so you kind of do stuff on the side, is that right? He said, oh yeah, I'm always looking. Bingo. That's all I needed to hear. So I said, I got to run, but if I got something in front of you, would you be open to it? Sounds like you're the type of person that is. So we exchanged information, and I'm going to follow up with him. He was on the job, so we couldn't do it right then, but I'll get it in front of him. I connected with someone on Facebook, asked them if they were open, gave him a compliment. We sat down tonight, and the guy's got a master's degree, and he's a financial analyst, but he and his wife are looking for more. And so it was a great meeting. But yeah, questions are everything. And be the one asking, be the one with the posture. You are a professional recruiter. You're looking for people who are looking for you, and you can manage the energy in those conversations and make sure that is you, the one that's coming across as the business person. You're not selling. You're not begging. You're looking for good people with integrity, people who want more and they're willing to do something about it. And when you get that in your head when you're approaching people, it's so much easier to ask those questions, the right questions, and you come across as a professional, and then they see you as that, and it's much more easy to get their information. Don't you agree, John?
I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, posture is everything, and your posture is going to be dictated if you're the one asking the questions. And remember, you're the consultant. All we're doing is coming from a position of education and understanding. We're consulting. What would you tell somebody? My rule of thumb is, what would you tell somebody if you were talking to them about ambient energy and they were going to get in somebody else's organization? Okay, you're telling them the truth. You're telling them it's the best financial freedom vehicle that you've ever seen. I mean, in your brain. You're not going to do all of that and whip out a presentation in front of them. I'm just telling you that mindset. You'll have that, and if you have that, and your only goal is to schedule an appointment, and to do that, you're going to have to get their contact information. Then you will learn to ask great questions to get you to that finish line. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? So it's practice, but it's actually fun practice, and you'll get really, really good at it, and you'll get to the point where you know what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do. You can kind of just walk them through the whole process. So, but it's asking great questions. And I will tell you this, and here's something else that's also fun. Now, I'm going to say this. Don't take it wrong, because we're not trying to offend anybody, and we're not trying to slam anybody. But I almost look for any little negative response just so I can take it away from them and watch their reaction. And say, I tell you what, this probably isn't for you. And watch how that frequency, when it goes up, that's more posture that we're talking about. But if you ask the right questions and you don't talk too much, you're going to get their contact information. I guarantee it. Another question that came in, talk about getting momentum through the holiday season. Well, that's a very good question. And here's what you need to understand. This is prime time, in my opinion. A lot of people think, oh, we've got to slow down. It's the holiday season, and people aren't focusing on anything except this or that. And I have to tell you that that's true if that's how you approach it, and that's your mindset. That's what's going to happen in your business. But if you approach this that, hey, my business is going to speed up during this time of year, and you're putting off that vibe, that's what's going to happen. So I don't go along with the premise that it's supposed to slow down and get stagnant during this time of year. I think there's a lot of positive things that you can do, positive things that you can do to spark momentum, especially going into the new year, this close to the new year, because this is New Year's resolution time. People are thinking about health and wellness and wealth and prosperity and you know what they're going to do different to make 2015 different so that it's better than 2014 was, and they're consciously and cognitively thinking about that. And so if you can just carry on some real conversations and show them that you've got the winning horse, you're going to see people leaning towards you and wanting to know more about that, and whether they get in now or after the first of the year, you're ready to go because of what you've been working on during this very time. Now, here are some techniques that I use to get people to pull the trigger when typically they're monitoring their money for Christmas or gifts and purchases and things of this nature. I just tell them, and this business people get this. I say, you know, look, let's get together. I want to share with something with you. You may or may not be interested, but you know, book the appointment. And when I'm showing them the presentation, we do a three-way call, validate it, and get their questions answered. If they're not ready to pull the trigger because they're hesitant about spending money right now, I'll just say, you know, look, here's the deal. You're business-minded. I really use a sincere compliment. That's very, very powerful. And I just tell them, look, you're business-minded. This isn't your first rodeo. Here's what I know. That 429 that you're concerned about, that's a tax write-off. Now, do you want to write that off in 6 or 7 days, or do you want to wait a year in 6 and 7 days? And I listen for their answer. Most people, they're actually, business people are purchasing things right now just so that they can get a tax write-off. This is when they're buying computers for their business and iPads and things of this nature. Well, that 429 is a tax write-off, okay? And so is the $24.95 a month for the websites. So all of that you can utilize to help spark and have somebody pull the trigger, because everybody loves a write-off, okay? Especially if you're having to pay into your taxes and not getting refunds. You'll understand what I'm telling you. So anyway, hopefully that helps. That's just a few techniques, and I use the power of the tax write-off to really get them to thinking. They may not pull the trigger right before Christmas, but on the 26th they may. They may not wait till the first of the year. So take advantage of that. So hopefully that helped. Next question. Hi, John. Could you explain how to use social media to gather prospects, consultants, and customers? Great question, Ron. Here's the problem with that, though. There is just no way I can address all of that in the time that we've got allotted here, but I will do my best. And so here's what I do know. Here's what I see all the time, and Elizabeth can talk to this too, because we see this all of the time. A lot of people are using Facebook, for example, as their sole marketing efforts, and every post on their timeline has to do with their business. And I'm not even speaking specifically of Ambit Energy, because you know we don't have any potions and powders and drink mixes and all of that kind of stuff. But I've got some friends that are in network marketing that are in those type of businesses, health and wellness, for example, and every post, I mean everyone, has to do with their business, and they're pushing their product, and people get tired of that, and you don't want that to happen. Matter of fact, I'll give you an example, and I'll tell you a story. Back when the Ice Bucket Challenge, the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge was happening routinely, we saw video after video after video of people doing the Ice Bucket Challenge, and one post from another friend on our list that's not involved in any network marketing company basically made the comment that the posts from XYZ company have now outnumbered the Ice Bucket Challenge posts. And it was a shot at those people because of the nonstop just recruitapalooza that they're doing on social media, and specifically Facebook. and it's just not attractive. And so what you want to have is the mindset that, hey, Facebook is a party, and you want people coming to your party. And you don't want to be that person at the party whipping out flyers and brochures and turning it into a business presentation, or you won't get invited back to the party. And number two, pretty quick, if it hasn't already kicked in, Facebook is redoing their algorithms anyway, where a lot of those posts aren't ever going to get seen. And you have to learn to do social media the correct way, and market to those people outside of Facebook. Now, you can use Facebook to get the contact, get the appointment, but you do it through a private message, or you do it get them over to your professional page, okay? I recommend that you go actually to my website, johnmorrison.ws, and you can click on resources, and there's going to be a lot of training on social media. A lot of it's free with Facebook, Instagram, and some of it's paid. I'm not doing the training, but it's the gurus that know what they're doing. April Marie Tucker is the guru of Instagram. Elizabeth is a guru. She uses Instagram a lot, and you can go to her website, and I'll pop both of those up. But I would recommend that you just plug into those, because there are thousands of hours that you can spend learning how to do that correctly. And there's several programs over there on the website. I recommend Jessica Higdon's using Facebook to recruit locally and build your business locally. I recommend that, or her $10,000 Facebook formula. I recommend that. Michelle Pesca-Solito's social media, or Facebook, she's the guru of Facebook, can show you how to do ads and what to do, and more importantly, what not to do, so you don't waste your money. All of that's over there. Elizabeth, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, there's a lot of great free stuff over there, and of course there's stuff you can invest in, but kind of the 30,000-foot view, especially on Facebook, is you don't want to be that guy or that gal that people don't want to see your posts anymore because you're just slamming them with all kinds of your business. What you want to show them, you need to pique their curiosity. That's what you want to do with your posts. You want to show lifestyle, that you're living a great life. You have wonderful friends and family. And like I did a post on Instagram yesterday. I met up with one of my Crossline teammates in Ambit she's in Alabama, and she was here visiting family and said, hey, meet me for coffee. So we took a picture, and I put doing some Christmas catch up with Corey. That's her name. I said, I love my business because of the wonderful people that I get to spend time with. I didn't say Ambit. I didn't say anything else. And I got such engagement on that picture because people were curious. They want to know what I'm doing. When I went cross country from New York to Las Vegas, people were like, what is she doing? You want them to lean in, and you want them to ask, what's up with this person? And I want to know what they're doing. Don't give it away. Keep them curious, but just show them that you're living a wonderful life, you're having fun, and you don't want to flash money. You don't want to splash your link out there. Just keep them curious. That's one of the best 30,000-foot view concepts I can tell you, is to keep them curious and let them know you're having a great time, and they'll raise their hand. That's what you want them to do, is raise their hand and say, hey, I want to talk to you. And one of the best testimonies of that is my husband's really, really good friend. I think I approached him when I first started this business, and it was not on his radar at all. And then he joined a health and wellness company, but he's been following me, and he gets on my blog, he's on my Instagram and Facebook, and he actually has told people to go to my blog to get great resources. And he said a comment on one of my posts. He said, man, I should have listened to you 7 years ago, and I should have joined you in your company. And I was like, bam, that's exactly what I want. So he's watching now. He's curious, and he's following, and he's seeing that I've got something going on. That's what you want. That's the kind of idea you want to put out there. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, I agree totally. And like I said, I'll also put up some links here too for any of you that want to go over there and check out some of that stuff, because it's very, very powerful. And if I didn't believe in it, I wouldn't have it on my website, and neither would Liz. So if that didn't get your question answered, type another one in, and we'll keep hammering them. All right. Can you give me some tips on how to build a business in a market that we don't offer a savings? Well, first and foremost, I would have to ask a couple of other questions as to what market that is. I know some people said California. It's gotten kind of tight, and sometimes the savings haven't been there. And then depending on who I talk to, they're like, "Well, we are saving them money." And then I talk to somebody, "Well, we're not saving money." So all I can tell you is this: to answer your question, there's two ways to go about this. And I don't recommend that you wait on us. Let's just say, for the benefit of the doubt, that Ambit's rates are higher in whatever market you're talking about. That will not last very long. And I'm speaking from experience. Now, I'm sitting here in Texas, and I'm not sure of what market we're talking about here, but I will tell you this. There was a time where in Texas we were not the cheapest. And everybody got in an uproar, and this was about a year in. I mean, this was I would say it was the early part of '08 or the latter part of '07. I can't remember. But anyway, Jerry Thompson called a leadership meeting, and we all went to Houston, RCs and above. And he sat right there and told us there are a handful of companies that are selling it cheaper than what they're buying it for. And one of two things are going to happen. They're either going to go under and go bankrupt, or they're going to raise their rates later once they get the customer to offset their expenses. And just about, I think actually all of them did. Now, I don't want to be quoted on that. I'm just telling you, if my memory serves me correctly, it was, like I said, it was about 6.5 years ago. All of those companies went under, and Ambit bought one of them cash money. Now, we watched that happen, and the price of natural gas, went way up, and that was causing a very volatile market. But I say all of that to say this: Ambit does not go into any market. I'm going to repeat that one more time. Ambit does not go into any market where they're going to be more expensive. They don't do that on purpose. Now, once they get in there, things might have to change for the other companies to have to compete with us. But I would just say, hang steady. Just hunker down, get still, relax, take a deep breath. That's just competition. But when we don't have the overhead in marketing and advertising and all of that, it all levels out, and we spank them. And last time I checked, free is better than cheap anyway. Now, that's one way of answering it. Now, the other way is I would say I would play the who do you know game in the markets where you think we are very, very competitive and saving people money. And I would go that route. And if you don't know anybody that knows anybody, then I would then say there's all kinds of beautiful ways to do things on the internet and market to areas that anywhere in the world that you want to. I had a friend. Now, I don't recommend what I'm fixing to say. I'm just telling you a story because I'm not a big Craigslist fan. Now, somebody else might tell you they love it and have had great success with it. I don't use it. I'll just tell you that. But I have had a friend that got 15 customers in 10 days using Craigslist. Now, those are not going to be loyal customers, okay? And the reason I say that, they don't know you, they don't have a reason to be loyal, and things of this nature. If everybody could grasp the mindset that Ambit is built on, really, rates don't ever even come into the picture. Now, I know I just plowed all kinds of fields crossways when I just said that. And a lot of people, especially new consultants, don't understand what I just meant by that statement, okay? But here's my mindset at the Morrison house. It's a win-win or it's no deal. Now, here's what I also know. If we didn't save customers money, but we didn't cost them money, I could still get 20 customer points just off of my sphere of influence, which is what Ambit means. If my grandmother's rates did not go up, but I didn't save her any money, so they didn't go down. It's the same rate as she's already paying, apples to apples. And all things considered, nothing changes. It's the same electricity, the same meter reader. My grandmother is going to be my customer, or we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting. Okay? She doesn't know her Reliant rep. She has no reason to help them. And if it's the same electricity and it doesn't cost her any money and inconvenience her, why wouldn't she be my customer and help put her great-grandson through college? See, now, if it cost her 1 red cent, I'd have never asked her that. So back to the question at hand, that question saying that we're more expensive. Well, that's a whole different deal, and you can work with people and try to get them free electricity or natural gas. But I will tell you this, in 7.5 years, I have not watched Ambit Energy just sit by and purposely and continuously stay higher than the competition. Liz has been in this business several years. Have you ever seen that happen? Have you ever seen them launch into a market and say, we're going to go into this territory, whatever it is, and we are going to be more expensive? Y'all go tear it up. Sick them.
No, I haven't, and this is what I know. You know, I'm customer gathering queen in Texas, and you know, there are going to be people that you'll come across that all they want to do is rate shop, and I've actually told them, you know, I don't think you're my ideal customer. I think if you're going to shop every 6 months, go ahead and do that. But I want a loyal customer who appreciates the fact that I'm their personal consultant. I'm their extra layer of customer service. I send them a birthday card. I call and see how they're doing, and we've got a relationship. And you probably can think of the grocery stores you shop at. You know, I can tell you from my example, I love Central Market. There are things that are the same price at Central Market as they are at maybe Walmart, but I love the experience of Central Market. So what do? I go there to get that thing. I like going over there. Well, same price, better value because of the experience. So and if you look at all the bills you pay, all the stuff you buy, do you always go bottom of the barrel? Not necessarily. Did you get your insurance guy because he was necessarily just bottom of the barrel? Or is he someone that takes care of you, gives you quality service? You know, so in every area of our lives, there are people who are our vendors, or we're dealing with them, not just price, but a lot of times value is involved. So what value are you going to bring to this person other than just the rate? And in areas where we're neck and neck and we're the same, or it's a variable like California and all year long you can't tell till the very end of the year, it's got to be on value. It's got to be on relationship. And even in Texas, you know, we put somebody on a contract, and a month later their rates would drop, and they're stuck in a contract that is higher than what they could get a month later. Do they leave? No. They stick it out. They stay, because with my customers, they like the service I give them. They want to help me with my goals and retirement. So it's a relationship. You got to think about that first. And, you know, we get a lot of savings here in Texas, but sometimes, you know, I'll have someone on a contract, rates will drop. You know, and so every market is different. But yeah, I've never seen, I'm thinking, you know, I've never seen them go in where they're expecting us to try to be higher than the competitor, because they know that we're going to need to be competitive overall. You know, in the long run, we're going to be competitive. But, you know, prices change at every single day in this commodities market. Every single day, natural gas and electricity, the price is changing. So one, you know, if you do that game, you're going to get exhausted, and our company wouldn't be at $1 billion because they wouldn't make any money. They lose money on that rate game. So every market is this, you know, you got to deal with that. Think about value. What value are you bringing to that customer? That's the way I see it.
Well, I agree with you. And two, you know, you only need 20 customer points in your lifetime, and once you get them and they're loyal, you know, I'm not real proud of the fact to tell you I don't even know what our rate is in my backyard right now, because I don't have to deal with it. My 20 customer points that are loyal to me from day one, from the very first month that I got in Ambit Energy in July, I was done with customers. Now, they'll fall in your lap and all that, but I'm just telling you, like Liz said, you get loyal customers, you don't have to deal with that. You need to focus 99% of your time on building a network. And that's what you need to spend your time with, because that's where the money's at. And if you can teach everybody just to get a few customers, and I mean, I highlight, underline, bold, italicized print the word few, but they're loyal, you never have to deal with this. Let Chris and Jerry deal with that. But I will tell you this too, that at the same time, they're not going to not be competitive. We have seen them go into the marketplace, beat the incumbent, and then the incumbent has to make adjustments so that they can keep their employees paid too. And and then Ambit adjusts also. And the price of natural gas and some other factors play a role in that. So I'm just telling you, knowing all of that stuff doesn't make you a swinging cent. And at the same time, I'll tell you this. If you've been a giver, customer gathering is probably not going to be very difficult. If you've been a taker, and I'm not saying that's the case for this person asking the question, I'm saying, but if you've been a taker and you haven't been returning the favors in life and giving back to those friends and family members, it's going to be a little bit harder. You know, I have given money away to friends and family members. I have cut my commissions when I was in real estate for friends and family members. To save money and help me, that's a no-brainer. Or I'm done cutting commissions and giving money. You know, I'm out of the favor business. And you'll see how fast that hits. Okay, so that's a whole nother topic, though. So we've already gone on the soapbox. I hope that helped. But anyway, if it didn't, type it in again. And I don't know how long Liz and Dale and all the whole hee-haw gang can stay on here, but I'll stick around until we get all of these questions answered. All right.
I can't do.
All right. What's the group's idea on Ambit putting customers into a New York State variable rate, which is extremely higher than the GSP? We have many, many customers in New York not used to renewing and don't monitor their myambit.com messages. Then there again, that comes in, and I'll just tell you, I'm not that savvy on New York and the rate plans. I do know, I believe, doesn't New York have the guaranteed savings, Liz?
Yeah, as far as I know, and as far as monitoring, you know what, I would set a reminder yourself, and you can set the alerts. I know I can set it for Texas. If you can't for New York, set it yourself. When I fill out a customer form and I file it and I put it in a sorter, so I know when those things are coming up, and I'm calling those people back and I'm saying, hey, you know what, it's time to renew. Let me help you do this. So I try to follow up and help them do that. But I'm pretty sure everywhere in New York it does have a guaranteed savings, and the variable rate tells me I think that's correct on that, and they'll see the savings, the true up at the end of the year, from what I understand.
That's my understanding too. But at the same time, that goes back to the original, the previous question. Whereas if you only have just a few people to take care of, let's just say you've got 30 people, all right, just to give yourself a 10 customer cushion. I would set up 3 group text messages: customer group 1, customer group 2, customer group 3, and then I could send out a text blast to those people, or I could text them each individual, hey, you need to look at this or need to renew, and just take care of them. You can do that in 10 minutes, okay, and you not have to deal with it. But I will say this too, Ambit's getting a lot better at sending the information, and I would educate the customer and say, you know, look, here's the deal. You need to be checking your email, because Ambit's got this new system that's showing you your usage down to 15-minute increments if you're in an area that's where that's available with the smart meter. Otherwise, you still need to keep monitoring your email from Ambit, because they're going to keep you abreast of, you know, your plan, and so that you don't run into the rate going up like you would with the competition. So anyway, what I would recommend on all of the customer gathering questions or customer rate questions is, you know, contact your upline EC or NC or consultant support and ask them, just so that we're making sure we're getting you the right answers, because, you know, I'm pretty confident on what I'm talking to you about in Texas, but I don't want to steer you wrong in these other markets and things of this nature. I just want you to know, in 7.5 years, I've not seen this company not be competitive. They would just not go into the market before that occurred. They would have just stayed in Texas. Okay, they purposely look and open up in markets where we can be competitive. Now, I'm not saying that that's going to happen 24/7, but it, you know, on average, I guarantee you it's 23. I mean, most of the time we're going to be competitive. So hopefully that helped. If not, type another question in, and hopefully we can elaborate more detailed on what we need to answer. Okay, John, we received a wonderful webinar system from you. It is best to do a personal invitation or just send out the link. Oh, okay. So what they're asking is they got the automated webinar system that we put together for Ambit. I will put that up too in just a little bit if anybody's interested in that, which does the presentations for you. There's several different webinar that are happening. There's a, obviously the one to show the business. There most of those are for that purpose. There's one for customers. But what I do is I personally went and to GoDaddy and got a domain name. You can do whatever you want. Like mine's, I've got one, it's john526.com or mywebinartellsall.com or my insidertellsall.com. Whatever. You can get 100 domain names. I mean, you can get them for like $5, and forward that. You can forward those to those webinar links that you got, so that it's easy to send them to. Okay. It's easier to say go to mywebinartellsall.com than it is to try to, that link is long. So that's why they're asking this question. Or you can hyperlink it. So when you're typing an email, you can type the word click here and then highlight the word click here and then right click on it and it'll say hyperlink, and then it'll let you paste that webinar link in there. And so then when you send the email, whenever they click on the word click here, it automatically takes them to that link that you set up. We're going to actually have some training webinars on that, and so since you are now the proud owner of that automated webinar system and platform, stay tuned for more information regarding that, and we will fix you up. But I would always do a personal invitation, and then once you get the invitation or book the appointment or the time slot, then you can send them the link, just like you would your energy526.com or whatever link you're trying to send them to, whether you're using the new texting cloud tool also that was announced at the training, or whatever tool you're using. You just implement it the same way that you've always been taught. It's just a different link. Hopefully that helped. All right. John, are your consultants giving you any feedback on the Ambit customer verification call? We get customers feeling the verification call for New York is aggressive, and some feel overwhelmed. Thanks. I have not received any feedback as to that being over the top aggressive. Now, I know they added some additional questions, but I will say that that's just a safety precaution. Ambit, wants to make sure that people aren't out there slamming customers, and I know that they had some of that happening years ago that they wanted to address. And on the EC/NC calls, they talked about the new third-party verification call having some additional questions, and they mentioned what those were, but none of us have seemed that was going to be a big deal. But if it is, let us know, or better yet, let your executive consultant or national consultant know, so that we can get that information back to corporate and see if there's a remedy for that. But I have not, to answer your question, I've not heard any feedback of that being a problem. I will say it's my opinion to coach up your customer so that if they're prepared for what's going to happen and you can kind of buffer that for them, it's going to be a lot smoother process. Because some people, if you, in my experience, if I hadn't have coached them and prepared them for the third-party call the way it used to be, they could have been freaked out. And that's why we recommend that nobody lets them do that on their own anyway. The second you have their account number, just do it with them right then. Tell them, hey, look, we got 90 more seconds and it's done, and here's what they're going to ask you. You can't ask questions or you're going to flunk the process, but they're making sure it's for your safety. So, because there are some, spammers and hackers out there, they're making sure that you are giving us permission to do this, and here's what they're going to ask you. This is this question, and it's very secure. That's why they're winning J.D. Power and Associate Awards. This is why we've got stellar customer service. But 90 seconds, and you don't even have to talk to NICOR or whoever. Straightforward process, and then you're done and you're saving money. That's how I would address it. Liz, you want to comment on that?
That's pretty much what I do. Is I let them know what they're about to hear and tell them why we need to do it. It's just a precaution. It's a legal step to protect them, protect us, and we do it to make sure that they want to make sure that no one did this in your stead. That it's to protect you. So I do coach them help them understand, here in Texas, if we call into the automated line, I usually say, listen, it's going to be an automated voice, and it may make your street sound funny, because it's an automated voice, but just listen clearly, make sure it sounds correct. If anything doesn't sound correct, don't press 1. We'll fix it if it doesn't sound right. And another thing that's been happening up here a little bit, not every address, but some of them, if the address is like 1072, it says 01072. I've had that happen, and it totally confuses the customer. So I tell them ahead of time, hey, if it has a 0 in front of it, then it's still okay. It's still the right address. So I do absolutely coach them, because it can get overwhelming, and it can sound a little different, and they're not used to it. And I've had people who, you got the option. I know here in Texas it may be different up there. You can get to a live person. You can opt into that service if you need to have them on the line. I had a gentleman from a foreign country, and he had a very thick accent, and so we just did that. We got somebody on the line, and I prepped him beforehand. I said, listen, you need to talk really slowly. He has a very thick accent. Need to listen really closely. I coached our support person in verification, and Paul Hopper and I had a guy that was 80. I think he was 86, and he had a little trouble, with the automated, so we just put him into a live person and told them the same thing. Listen, I need you to talk really slow so he can understand you. He is 86 or however old he was. So just help manage that and manage their expectations. That's what has always worked really well for me.
Awesome. And I forget who asked the question, but I popped up my website where you can click on that. I highly recommend that you right-click on that and open it in a new tab, and then you click on resources, and you can get all the social media information. I'll pop Elizabeth's website up here shortly, so you can click on those when any of that stuff pops up that's related to the questions that are coming in. All right, another question is, let's see here. I have a friend who has a brother who is an ACN rep. They do Energy Plus phones. Can I introduce Ambit to him? Best way to do this? Yes, you can, if they're interested in learning more about what you're doing. Here's what I do. Now, there's all kinds of schools of thought out there. I'm just telling you what way I can lay my head on the pillow at night and have integrity and have ethics. And my job is not to steal somebody from another network marketing company. And I don't recommend that you do that either. What I would do, though, is I would ask great questions. My brother, my friend said that you are involved in a network marketing company. Is that correct? Well, yeah. Well, cool. What's the name of the company? Well, it's ABC Company. Well, cool. How's that going for you? Are you making good money at it? How long have you been doing it? And just spark a conversation about that. You never have to bring up yours even. Now they're going to ask you what you do, and then you can tell them. But you can always ask them, well, what do you do? What are you doing to generate leads for that for ABC Company? Are you happy with ABC Company? There's all kinds of things you can ask, and if they tell you, no, yes, I've been doing it. I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm not making any money. I'm treading water as fast as I can tread it, but I keep trying to keep my head above the water in the thing. I'm spending more than I'm making. Yada yada yada. That kind of thing Then you might say, well, what's causing what seems to be the problem? I still wouldn't throw up Ambit over. A lot of people would sit there and go, oh, well, then you need to look at my business. They would immediately. I would ask them this: are you passionate about XYZ company? And listen for their. If they say yes, then I would let them keep doing it if that's where their heart is, and then just try to offer and give them value, and help them any way that I could. But if they express frustration and that they are open to looking at something else, then you can just schedule the appointment and then go show it to them. I wouldn't sit there and whip out charts and graphs on a PowerPoint and start showing them Ambit right then. I would be a professional, just like a doctor would. Dr. P, if Dr. Punjabi's on the webinar tonight, and I guarantee you he's had some people come up to him and say, look, I've been lightheaded the last few days. I'm not feeling real good. I guarantee you he doesn't start whipping out, needles and drawing blood right there and running tests. He books an appointment. I mean, you go to his office, okay, and that's posture. So, but I would just find out. I would ask great questions, just the way to answer this question. I would not try to just, go recruit all of ACN's people. I would just say, are you happy with it? I did a three-way call for a gentleman who put me on the phone with somebody that was in another company. I'm not going to mention their names, but it was a coffee company, and the person had some questions, and I could tell by the questions that he was asking that his only purpose was to recruit me. He was using this consultant to get to me, to recruit me into their coffee business. And I said, well, I'm on here to answer any questions you have about Ambit. I'm not recruitable. I have found the winning horse. This is what I'm passionate about. It's changed my life. And it sounds to me like you are passionate about your coffee business, and that this business, Ambit Energy, is not for you. Now, I could tell, I could just imagine that, this consultant in my organization that had me doing this three-way call about swallowed his tongue when I told this person that. I mean, they about freaked out. What is he doing? But I just told the person, it sounds like you're passionate about that, and you need to keep doing that. But at the same time, he would whipped out all of these numbers that I knew wasn't accurate. And I told him, I said, now look, if I could give you any friendly advice, though, all of those numbers you just whipped out and told me that those people are making, because I know those people. I'm at mastermind events with them. I know what their income is. I said, those numbers you just stipulated are not accurate, and that's going to end up hurting you. So I would suggest that you get real factual information before you start spreading that, because they're not making the money that you just said they are. I guarantee you, you're not going to be making $20,000 a month in 6 weeks in your coffee business, because that's what he said he was going to be doing. And I said, so I'm not saying that to offend you, but I said, I hope you sell a lot of coffee. And he said, why do you say that? I said, because the more coffee you sell, the more money you're going to make, and the more money we're going to make. And he goes, how's that going to make you money? I said, people use coffee pots, and coffee pots plug into electricity, and that means we get paid the more coffee you sell. And what's amazing is that person was at a meeting, a presentation in Austin, Texas the next Tuesday. So I'm just telling you, just be professional, but I wouldn't go trying to steal them out from ACN. I just ask them, are you happy? Are you achieving all of your goals in that company? Are you making all the money you want to make in that company? And help them. That's another reason why I utilize, and so does Elizabeth, My Lead System Pro, because we can use that system to reach out and give them training and value to help them with their business. I mean, there's enough to go around, folks. A lot of people think, oh, saturation, this company's got electricity, that company, oh my God, there's not going to be enough, there's not going to be enough to go around. Folks, we will never saturate electricity, ever. I'm just telling you. We can't do, if we didn't even go into any of these other markets, we couldn't sign up all of Texas. There are 1,200 people moving to Texas per day, okay? So I'm just telling you, don't worry about that. Worry about bringing people value, and the more you give, the more you're going to receive. That's just a biblical principle that hasn't been proven wrong yet. So that was a long pig trail soapbox answer, but I hope I helped. All right. And if anybody, I see Dale, he's got his little Ambit logo popped up there. If you want to comment to my brother, just feel free to unmute your button there and rock and roll. Dale has a great story too. We'll tell that in just a second. I'll save that. It is awesome because his sponsor is now getting back into the business, so that's pretty cool. And now Mike's doing his sleep study, and man, you're looking really sexy, Mike Snow. That's awesome. See, all of you people watching this webinar, Mike's having to have a sleep study done because you notice he's wearing an Ambit Energy T-shirt. He can't go to sleep because of ambient energy. So they've got him all, and I'm probably not helping the situation. Are we supposed to let you go to sleep, Mike? You look like you have night cream on.
They told me that after the call is over, then I can go to sleep.
That is classic. I mean, that is awesome. Oh,
Hey,
that is hilarious.
Hey, remember what I said? I never stopped doing ambient.
I know it. You're walking, breathing. So you're proof for all your peeps that are on this webinar. They're seeing this. This is hilarious, man. That is awesome. Yeah, I saw you, Dale. So get ready. I'm coming to you. You can tell that story. Okay. Thanks to the both of you. Great information. All right. You're more than welcome. Thank you for being on here. Hi, John. I have several people I want to invite from other cities around Texas. Is there a resource for us to find the local groups where we can plug them in and into a BP or a key executive consultant in that area? Yes, it's your power zone. You can log into there, and I would also call consultant support and ask them for names of some people that are in those areas as well, and they will be able to help you with that. Also, attending events is huge, and that'll, you'll meet people from all walks of life, from every nook and cranny on the planet, and so that's why it's always important to go to these events and never miss them, even if they're online like this webinar. I guarantee you, there are people that you can link up with in the chat area and tell them where you're at, and they will know somebody, okay? Just like this person right here, they're telling me that the market that they were talking about in the previous question was California. See, right there, I would tell this person to get in touch with an Adam and Michelle Carey. Reach out to them on Facebook, talk to them about customer gathering, because they're blowing up a big-time business in California. Get with Rose and Kevin Duncan. They're blowing up a big-time business in California. And they will be more versed and well-read on the service pitfalls that y'all may or may not be running into in certain aspects of California. So keep that in mind. All right, and here we go. Let's see here. Great answer. Thank you so much. You're more than welcome. How do we track if the invitee has watched the webinar, or is it only by them filling out the additional info request? Are you talking about when you send them to your Energy 526 site, or when you send them to a webinar, or you, what tool are you using when you're wanting to track this? I will tell you this: if you're using Energy Gold Rush, for example, when they log in, it will send you an email. There's different things that you can do to create that same ability so that you know if they're on there. Also, Wistia is good, to where you can upload presentations to your Wistia account. I think they'll let you have up to 10 videos for free, and then you have to pay money per month for that. But you can upload a video to Wistia, whether it's the presentation. If you capture a YouTube video where it'll let you download it to your computer and then upload it to your Wistia account, Wistia will let you track how long they're on there. There's all kinds of tools out there that will allow you to do that. A lot of those are not free, though, however. I have a lot of them that I utilize, and if you want me to expound more on that, let me know, or just let me know what tool you're using. And there's a lot of things out there. There's all kinds of funnels that you can create, things of this nature. So what I typically do, though, is I'll just say, look, are you in front of a computer right now? Well, I'm fixing to send you this link. Click on it, and I'll sit here and I'll listen to it with you. Then they're watching it. Or when you send it to them, say, click on it. Can you watch? How soon can you watch it? They say now. Okay, great. Here comes the link. Give them the link, and then time it. The video presentations. 15 minutes, 17 seconds. You call them in 16 minutes, and you already have a 3-way call lined up. So that can be very, very powerful too.
Hey,
Okay.
John, I was
Yeah.
I was reading. They said when we are sending the webinar, so I think they mean your the automated system, the webinar system.
Yeah. What you would have to do is there on that there is no way uh, for free that you can do that. Um, there is a paid way you can do it. I'll just have to get with you on that when we cover it. But it's just because the only reason you have to pay for it is because it costs to have it, and so it's not very expensive, but to where you can tell when they log into the webinar. But a lot of those are timed, so it's at 6 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever, or sometimes on some of those links they have the ability to watch yesterday's replay, which means they can watch it right then, so that you can treat that, even though you're sending them to your webinar. You don't have to wait till tomorrow at 6 p.m. You can say, just click on the link, watch yesterday's replay, and watch it right now. And they can do that. And a lot of people are texting me, what in the world are y'all talking about? So let me send y'all over there and show you what I'm talking about. Let's see here if I can do this. Okay, so that ought to take you over there so y'all can learn more about what I'm referring to when I'm talking to Don and Debbie about the automated webinar system. You can click on that, show me more, and that'll take you over there, and there's a video that explains all of that if you're interested in having that. Okay? Alrighty, other questions. Let's see here. We're catching up, I think. All right, John, why are events simulcast so important to driving our business? Well, if I could boil it down into one word, it's belief. There's nothing, especially for a new consultant, there's nothing like seeing something as powerful as simulcast or ambition. Really ambition for when you're there on site and there's 15,000 people, and you see all walks of life, people that are involved doing ambient energy. The best of the best are there, lives that have changed, the story after story. You don't get that sitting at home, okay? And simulcast is very, very powerful because now a person is going, wow, this is a big-time company that can beam this into your house. This is a big-time company that can beam it to multiple locations at the same time all over the country. It just helps build their belief so that they know what they have is not some Mickey Mouse pumpkin pulling network marketing dog and pony show. Folks, I'm just going to let y'all know, this is a big-time business. They do not come around very often, and you happen to be seeing it at the absolute best time. I'm just telling you, this is a phenomenal company ran by phenomenal people with stellar track records, not only in business but in integrity, character, ethics. I mean, it's built on a solid foundation where you don't have to worry about the rug being jerked out from underneath you. And when you start talking about electricity, and at our intensified training webinar we had Saturday, I showed the compensation plan and showed people why it's the best in the entire profession. It's the best out of every company on the planet because of the leverage it can create. And I showed that money, and I had people get back with me and said, I literally cannot sleep. Mike Snow's one of them. You can see he's having to have a sleep study done. But I'm just telling you, that is, there's people don't grasp it, how this company can leverage you financially. And when you slap that with a utility and marry those together, I'm just telling you, it's phenomenal. And when you go to these events, it builds belief, it creates passion, intensity, and urgency. It will cause you to go out and talk to people when you wouldn't have talked to them prior if you hadn't have gone or attended the event, because you wouldn't have had that same belief to come out of your shell and say something in the shopping line that I was talking about earlier. If you went shopping right after simulcast and you were on fire, excited about what you saw and the announcements, now you might spark a conversation by saying, "Hello, how are you doing? Are you from here? Or aren't we blessed that this line's not long, this close to Christmas Eve. What do you do for a living? And, how long have you been doing that? What do you do for fun? And just start asking these questions. That whole process started, though, because in your brain you've got Ambit on the forefront lobe of your brain, and you're just carrying on the conversation, and you've trained yourself now so that you can get their contact information and get them from step to step to step. Belief and urgency and passion and intensity, all of that comes from attending events. And I will give everybody on here a quick formula that I have found to be pretty accurate over the last 25 years. And it's pretty accurate up until the point where you're making about $100,000 a month or more. Then it starts to kind of, be some inaccuracies. But here, up until that point, it's pretty accurate. And here it is. For everybody in your organization that you get to go to an event, and I'm talking a major event, a simulcast or an ambition, for every person that you get to go to that major event, that's going to equal $1,000 in your business for you and your family over the next 12 months. I'm going to say that again. For every person you get in your organization to attend the big event, that's going to equate into or equal $1,000 in income for you over the next 12 months. So what if you had 10 people attend simulcast? Would $10,000 over the next year be okay? What if you had 50 people in your organization attending simulcast? Would $50,000 be okay? What if you had 100? You see what I'm saying? And this is a monkey see, monkey do business. People are going to watch your feet, not your lips, and they are going to do what you do, not what you tell them to do. And that's the difference between being a promoter and being an announcer. Okay? I'm just telling you, that's a fact. Okay? And I've never been involved in a network marketing company, and Ambit's no exception. I've never been in a network marketing company where the top money earners did not attend events. I guarantee you, you go to Ambition, you're going to see Brian McClure, Steve Thompson, Philip Eckhart. The top money earners are going to be there. They're going to be at simulcast, or they're going to be having parties with simulcast beamed into their organization. And so, do you want to make big time money? Or you want to make spending money? That's what I told one of my friends when they asked me if they needed to go to these events. And I said, do you want to make spending money or you want to make big time money? They said, well, of course I want to make big time money. I said, then I guess I'll see you at the event. You have to go to the events. It's period. And you got to stay plugged in. Liz, you want to comment on that? Well, I waited till you muted your video there. All right, next question. Oh, Clyde's commenting, I did that sleep test too, Mike. Ambit kept you awake too, Clyde, huh? I understand. All right, and I see you have the webinar. All right, cool. Any other questions? Now is the time to ask them. All right. All right, let's see. Dale, unmute. Why don't you tell your story about your sponsor? This is awesome.
Well, first off, I'm glad you clarified that Mike's going through a sleep study and he hadn't gone through a windshield or something like that. I appreciate that. He looked pretty beat up there with all the bad patches and stuff on him, so I'm glad he's doing the sleep study.
Yeah, he's looking real sexy, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But just to tell the story, is just what just pointed out yesterday during the noon hour, it just so happened I received a phone call, and it actually came from Scott and White. My wife, saw the call and said, well, who's that? And I said, I don't know, let's answer. So I answered the call, and come to find out is my long-lost sponsor of like 3 or 4 years. I think he's been away for 5 or 6 years, but I've talked to him about 3 years ago, and he's continued to ask me if I was still doing the Ambit business, and I said, absolutely. Well, come to find out he was talked to by his sponsor and reactivated his websites, and guess what? All of a sudden he received a $500 check from Ambit just by reactivating his websites. He said, you know what? So I think this is a true business. I think I need to get busy. And I told him, I said, here's the deal. I said, even though you're my sponsor, you call me and I will help you. And that's what I like about this.
Well, what's amazing is, for those of you that don't know, he sponsored Dale, and then, and he might even be on this webinar. But he sponsored Dale, and then I don't know how much time went by, Dale, but you correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a little time went by, and then he just kind of rode off into the sunset. Well, what he didn't realize was going to happen was Dale was going to blow it up, and just from that, and I think he sponsored another person and or a couple people, but anyway, he promoted a regional consultant, but he didn't do anything. He turned his websites off, and he happened to see his sponsor at a festival, and she had talked to him. Dale had talked to him and was telling him what was happening, and he said, "I'm just not interested. Thanks, no thanks, and I'm too busy, with life." And so anyway, his sponsor saw him at this festival, and she said, "You don't know how much money you're losing. It's painful to watch. You really need to go pay attention and check this. Get back in this. You don't understand what has happened underneath you." And so anyway, long story short, after he called Dale and talked to Dale for a while, he called me and asked me some questions about my situation and if it was true what he heard. And I told him, yeah, I'm no longer doing real estate. I'm in Ambit full time. And he goes, I turned my websites back on. They sent me an immediate $500. He said that got my attention. He said then I looked, and I have in my organization down through 9 levels right at 1,800 customers. And he said I only have 10 personal customer points myself. He said, so I'm only getting paid down through level 4 is what consultant support told me. And I said, well, that's true. I said, and so what I have found is, in our business, on average, you're missing out on about $1 a customer. I said, so you're looking at about $1,800 a month. And he goes, well, my wife's super excited. I said, well, wait till you get 20 customer points and watch how excited y'all get, because that's fixing to kick that check in on the 15th of every swinging month. And he goes, you're going to be seeing a lot more of me. And I said, I hope so. Because it's a life-changing business, and you just experienced how that can grow and how leverage can occur. He goes, I just can't imagine what it would be like if I didn't quit for 5 years. I'm like, well, don't even go there. I said, Holly, I sponsored somebody. She had the same story exactly like yours, but she's on fire now. And I just told her, do not look in the rearview mirror. It's smaller than the windshield for a reason. Look forward. If you concentrate on the 5 years you wasted, you will want to slit your wrist at the money you just let by. So just focus ahead and get your 20 customer points as fast as humanly possible. But I said, do you realize how much money you would have to have in the bank to kick out to you $1,600, $1,800, $2,000 a month, whether you get out of bed or not? I said, your wife and you ought to both be excited. And so then after I hung up with him, I texted Dale and told him, you ain't going to believe who I talked to, and he knew who I'd talked to because he had just talked to them. But they were very, very excited, and that's exactly what can happen in this business. Okay, so
it's funny, John, how $500 can persuade somebody to actually get back in.
Yeah, and what's amazing is we got yahoos that won't even get in the business because they're puckered up over $429. But they'll be lined up at Best Buy trying to buy a PlayStation 4. It won't make them a swinging cent. That's why you just work with the ones that want it and keep rocking. Okay, we got another question here. We have several inactive MCs who have recently said that they need to become active again. What are some ways that we can support them in relaunching their business? I had this exact same question asked to me while I was on the golf course playing golf. I received a text message from one of my consultants that said, how do we get our organization motivated to do something and get active again? And don't tell me next, meaning next, go get somebody that wants it, okay? And here's how you do that. Go sponsor somebody new yourself. You want your organization to do something? Go sponsor somebody new yourself. They're watching you. If you keep sponsoring people and building a business, then they'll build a business. Now, to answer this question specifically, if they're inactive, I would go and tell this story that we just shared with you with Dale and his sponsor. You don't realize what could be happening without you and how much money you could be losing. you really need to plug back in. This is fixing to explode. I would always utilize the announcement of events, and that's why they stagger these events. You know, you got simulcast at the beginning of the year. You got a power trip. You've got, you know, we do trainings all the time, and then you've got ambition, and then you got another power trip, and then another simulcast. I mean, and just use the power of the event to reach back out to these people. Look, you know, I know you're inactive, you're not doing much, you know, and life's gotten in the way and this and that, but you know, I don't know if your situation's changed, but they're opening up Maine in you know, in just a few days. They're opening up our 14th state. January the 24th, simulcast. They make announcements. I don't know if your situation's changed, but they just launched this tool or that tool or this promotion or that promotion. You know, I just, as your friend, I don't want you to miss the boat. I'm going to build it with or without you. I'd just rather do it with you. Let me know if your situation's changed. I'm more than willing to help, but I'm not going to wait on you. I'm just keeping you informed of what's going down. And that's what happened with Dale's sponsor. People kept touching base with him, and sometimes he listened to them, and until lately, until they got his attention and said, you know, you need to just go in your back off, turn your websites on, and see what's happening. And the second he turned them on, they sent him $500. That's an awakening moment. Okay, so, and then when you see how many customers you're not getting paid on every month because you're not active, that'll make you turn your websites on. I'll just tell you. If you don't believe me, you can ask Holly Lieferman, all right? Because she did the same thing, and her residual kicked in, and it was right at $2,000 a month. So I'm just telling you, it's phenomenal. Liz?
Yep, I was going to add something to that. The way I'm understanding, maybe this is what Regina was asking also, is if you've got someone that, you know, maybe they don't have a team yet, and life got in the way, and they're saying, yeah, we want to get active again, and you know, you and I both have probably had this group of people where they say that, and then you say, okay, do XYZ, and then they don't do XYZ, and you see how serious they are. So I would say, Regina, if you've got someone who says, I am ready, I am serious, I'm recommitted to my why, then I would say, you know what, that's great. Let's start over. And number one, sign up for simulcast. Number two, which meeting are you going to plant your flag at? You know, which one is going to be your place? You're going to show up early, you're going to volunteer, you're going to be a part of the deal, you're going to plug in and just restart them, relaunch their business, because they can do that anytime, and they can start right there, build a new story, have, you know, and create a wonderful experience, you know, and a great testimony for what's going on and results if they want to. So the key is, if they say that, see if they're willing to do something about it. You know, are they willing to actually do the steps necessary to make it work? And you'll find out real quick. Send them off with some assignments. Okay, great. I need to get your why again. We need to sit down and work on who we're going to talk to. Let's relaunch this thing, and then go see what they're willing to do. And then you'll know real quick if they really are serious, if they're just kind of talking again, you know, like, oh, it'd be great to start this thing, you know, really make some money. Okay, then put your money where your mouth is and do the work. And encourage them, though. Inspire them with your actions and encourage them along the way. And say, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to work right beside you. As soon as you're ready to make money, I'm right here to help you. So call me. And I had one of my consultants who I sat down with, and he said, yeah, I'm ready to do this thing. I'm ready to go. So he said to me, call me. He told me to call him. Call me to be accountable. And I said, no. You need to call me. You see, you need to let me know you're serious. So I need to hear from you, not the other way around. I've got a lot of people who I'm working with, but I need to know you're serious, so you need to take the action. I'll help you every step of the way if you're willing to step up and take the action yourself. So if that's where they are, that's probably what I would do, Regina.
Awesome. Also, I just received some text about the software, the texting tool. So, and I apologize, because the reason they're texting is because we were going to show a video on the training webinar, and it didn't happen due to technical difficulties, and just because of that, I fired that platform, and now we're on a new platform that is a lot slicker and more robust, as y'all can probably tell and experience right now. But I just popped up that offer that explains the Texting Cloud digital business card. It's going to take you to the website that shows the video of it being utilized, and if you're interested in that, it'll send you over to Mike Sanford, who is the mastermind behind that and the inventor and owner of Texting Cloud, and you can check that out. And he's running an incentive, and I even told him we had trouble on the webinar, and he has agreed to extend the promotional coupons and aspects of it. So if you're on this webinar, you need to go over there and check that out. Just in the event that you are interested in it, you can take advantage of some cool features and save some money utilizing some coupon codes. And I think for the first 20, he's even going to give you a coupon code that'll allow you to do some other things, give one away, and for every 5 that you refer, you get something free. So I mean, that's going to take you over there, and he handles all of that. That's his baby. So click on that, and you can be redirected to learn more about that tool. But it is cool. I utilized it the other night at a basketball game to send a link to somebody, and that video will explain all of that once you get over there. So hopefully that addresses that question. I've got questions coming in from about 8 different venues here: my email, my phone, and this webinar. So any other questions? I think we're caught up on the Q&A chat or Q&A screen, right? Liz, do you see any other questions that I might have missed?
No, I'm not. I'm not right now.
I think we're good. And I see people still on the other chat side. So anyway, and I popped up Elizabeth's website too just a while ago, so hopefully everybody got to tool over there to her site and see that. And any other questions that you have, or topics you want us to cover, or technology you want us to discuss, now's the time. Whip it out, hurry. We've already gone over about almost 30 minutes here. All right, let's see here. We got something else coming in here. Well, thank you. I see here. Thank y'all for doing that. You're welcome. Thank you for being on here. We'll do some more of these on a routine basis. I mean, we're here to help you, no matter whose organization you're in. All right. And Liz put a link in the chat box of her customer training, which I highly recommend you take advantage of that as well. And also feel free to go to the team website, hotambitpros.com, and there's some training videos there as well, as far as doing a in-home business presentation and customer gathering. We've got Adam and Michelle Carey talking about in-home business presentations, and Miriam Waito talking about customer gathering, and everything right there on the website. Matter of fact, I'll redirect y'all. Once we end this, it'll take you over to that site. We'll just plan on doing that, and you can take advantage of that. So any other questions, anything you need us to cover, now is the time to let us know. Speak now or forever hold your peace before we end this bad boy. Make sure I didn't miss something in the old chat room here. We had a lot of people participate tonight, being last minute, so that was cool.
I assume everybody's gotten their shopping done. That's why they're here.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, that's good. We don't need to. You don't need to be in trouble with Santa. That's right. Let's see here. What else? I think that's it. Liz, you have any parting words or any words of wisdom?
Oh, this was fun. Let's do this again. Those are my words of wisdom. Let's get on here. And if you guys are going to my site and looking at my customer videos, I really want to know what you would like me to answer, what questions or struggles that you're having. I would love to do a video about it. I just need more topics. So reach out to me and let me know. You know, because it's fun. It's fun stuff. So that's it. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
Cool. And for all of you, a lot of you have gone to my website too and signed up for the free webinar on how to invite I'm with Liz. Leave us your comments and let us know how we can help you, because we know what this business can do for you and the profession in general. And so we're here to help you. And any topics that you want us to talk about, feel free to reach out to us and give us those as well. And we'll slap a video together. And we got some big plans in 2015. Some bigger fish to fry. We're working on a big time podcast and some other technology that's coming out. And so I'm super excited. I'm more excited now than I was in 2007 when I first saw Ambit. So getting the batteries recharged and getting ready to rock and roll, blow up 2015, because I think we're going to hear some exciting things at Simulcast. I would not wait for that. I would be building this right now like my hair was on fire. And get as many people in my organization to that Simulcast event as I could, even if I had to have them in my house. Okay, so take advantage of that. Let's see here. One other thing somebody asked me to do. Let me double check here. One other thing. What else? What was the other thing that they wanted me to talk to them about or send them to?
Your website. Then you put up the offer with the texting. So I'm not sure. Other than that,
yeah.
If anybody can remember, type it in the chat box.
Oh, I know what it was. It was on my phone. That's why I'm not seeing it here. Wanting to know Brian McClure's site. So I will pop that bad boy up here real quick.
Mike looks like he's on Star Wars or something. That's really funny.
I know. We will never let you down on this, Mike Snow. You are just done.
Hilarious.
Well, I need to capture this.
Hey, man, hey.
Oh, I just captured it.
Somebody's
I
gotta
just
do it.
captured it. That is going to be bribery right there. I just got. Wait till I send this picture to you in your phone here in just a little bit. That is going to be awesome. I might even put it on hotambitpros.com here in just a second. That'd be awesome too. You look like Darth Vader, man.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah.
Merry Christmas to all of y'all too. I see Regina's wished us a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I hope this is the most prosperous year of your lives. We got some other, let's see here. Looking forward to the new year and Simulcast. Awesome. Hopefully you all had a chance to check out Brian's site, topambitleaders.com. Yep, there's two people that must have been the two people that text me. So that's good. And let's see here. Let me reset everything here and make sure I'm not missing something. Yes, sir.
I'm trying to get me a new consultant. She was just in here listening.
If she's smart, she'll sign up, because it's the best business decision she will ever make in her life if she's coachable, whoever she is. They'll be laying beside you needing a sleep study. That's what'll happen. Then I can get a picture of both of you.
Great. That is awesome.
That is funny. That is too classic. I'm just going to tell you, that is too funny. All right, I think that's it. Other than the social media, did I miss something on social media that we needed to send them to? I would just go to the website for those of you wanting more information on the social media, and click on resources. Okay, I'll post that up for just a little bit, and then we'll end this and we'll redirect you over to Hot Ambit Pros and go from there. Once you get there, you can also sign up for the free webinar, which is the how to do a proper invitation, and it's about 50 minutes of sheer content, absolutely yours, free. And when you sign up for that, it'll put you on the list where we can keep you updated as we put out new videos and stuff. And Elizabeth is also putting out content on almost a daily basis. So, just
working on it.
Yeah, bookmark both of those bad boys and just go back to them on a routine basis and just soak it all up. I mean, it's a learning process. You're not going to learn it all in a day, a week, a year anyway. I mean, this is years of being just saturated in this stuff. So take advantage of that. Okay? I don't see any. Whoop, there's another question. Who said the energy biz is boring? It is not in this group. That's right. Who would have dreamt you would have watched a sleep study on this
Right.
bad boy? That's what's amazing. Man, people didn't attend this. They missed some funny stuff there. Now I'm going to just tell you. All right. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to redirect everybody over to Hot Ambit Pros, and we're going to end this. And thanks, Liz. Thanks, Dale. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everybody, the whole Hee Haw gang. Hopefully we brought value to you and your business tonight. Y'all go enjoy your family. Have a safe travels wherever you're out and about and going to, and a Merry Christmas and a happy, prosperous New Year.
Yes, Merry Christmas.
And a Merry Christmas back at you.
Right
See you
back.
later.
All right, sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Mike Snow.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay, we ended. We redirected them all over to Hot Ambit Pros.
You are still live, it looks like.
Yeah, we are in the back office. I don't think they're seeing it.
Well, Mike's cracking me up.
Yeah, that's too funny. All right, well, y'all have a good one.
Hey, you too. This is slick. I really like the platform.
Yeah, I like this better than the other one, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
All right, cool. Well, hopefully Santa's good to everybody.
Yeah, y'all have a Merry Christmas.
All right, you too. Be careful.
All right, see ya.